Welcome back to Casefile X, where we explore the mysteries, the crimes, and the investigations that haunt communities across America. Tonight, we bring you the chilling story of a disappearance that shocked an entire town, shattered a family, and launched one of the most extensive manhunts in recent history. This is the story of Emily Carter. Emily Carter was 24 years old when she vanished without a trace. She was a college graduate working part-time at a local bookstore in Asheville, North Carolina, while preparing for graduate school. Friends describe her as creative, full of energy, and deeply compassionate. She volunteered at animal shelters, wrote poetry in her free time, and loved taking long evening walks to clear her head. But on one of those walks, in September 2019, Emily simply disappeared. The last confirmed sighting of Emily came from security footage outside the bookstore where she worked. At 7:45 p.m., she was seen locking up, waving goodbye to a co-worker, and heading toward her apartment, just 6 blocks away. She never made it home. By the next morning, Emily's family knew something was wrong. She was always punctual, always in touch. Her phone went straight to voicemail, and her apartment was untouched. Police were alerted immediately, and the case was classified as suspicious within the first 24 hours. Investigators canvassed the neighborhood, speaking to anyone who might have seen her. A witness came forward claiming they saw a dark SUV circling the area that night. Another said they heard a woman scream near the park 2 blocks away, though no one called police at the time. Detectives began piecing together Emily's last known movements. Security cameras showed her walking toward the park, but after that, she seemed to vanish. There were no signs of struggle, no dropped belongings. It was as if she had stepped into the night and never returned. As the days stretched into weeks, theories began to circulate. Was Emily abducted by a stranger? Did someone she knew lure her away? Or had she simply decided to leave her life behind? A possibility investigators reluctantly considered, but quickly dismissed. Her bank accounts, social media, and phone activity all went silent the night she disappeared. Family and friends organized search parties, distributing flyers across Asheville and nearby towns. Volunteers combed through wooded trails, riversides, and abandoned buildings. The community rallied behind the Carters, refusing to give up hope. But despite thousands of hours of searching, there was no trace of Emily. Investigators turned their attention to possible suspects. An ex-boyfriend with a history of controlling behavior was questioned, but he had a solid alibi. A man who frequented the bookstore and had made Emily uncomfortable in the past was brought in, but no evidence tied him to the crime. The mysterious SUV seen near the park became a central lead, but despite tracking down dozens of similar vehicles, police could not connect any of them to Emily's disappearance. As pressure mounted, the FBI joined the investigation, bringing advanced forensic tools and behavioral analysts. They examined Emily's digital life, reconstructing her last conversations. One stood out: a string of text messages from an unknown number in the days leading up to her disappearance. The messages seemed friendly at first, referencing shared interests, but grew unsettling, asking Emily to meet in secluded places. Detectives traced the number to a burner phone purchased in cash. Whoever sent those texts was careful, calculated, and possibly the same person responsible for her vanishing. Months passed, and the trail grew cold. For Emily's family, every unanswered call and every unverified tip was another wound. For investigators, it became a race against time. Missing person cases often go cold after the first 72 hours, but the community refused to let Emily's story fade. Candlelight vigils were held, billboards went up, and her photo was shared across social media platforms nationwide. Then, nearly a year later, a breakthrough came. A hiker in the Blue Ridge Mountains stumbled upon a backpack buried under leaves and debris. Inside were personal items belonging to Emily: her journal, a set of keys, and a necklace her mother had given her. The area was quickly secured, and forensic teams scoured the site. Though no remains were found, the discovery reignited the case. The evidence suggested Emily may have been taken to the mountains after her disappearance. Tire tracks nearby hinted at a vehicle, possibly the same SUV seen the night she vanished. Detectives now believed she had been abducted, held, and possibly transported across state lines. The case drew national attention, with experts debating theories on television and podcasts. Some believed Emily had been targeted by a serial predator, someone who had studied her routines. Others suspected human trafficking, pointing to Asheville's proximity to major interstate highways. To this day, Emily Carter remains missing. Her family continues to fight for answers, launching a foundation in her name to support other families of missing persons. They hold yearly vigils, reminding the world that Emily's story is not over, and that someone, somewhere, knows the truth. This story is a haunting reminder of how quickly life can change. In one ordinary evening, Emily Carter's life was stolen, and her community was left grappling with fear and grief. It is also a reminder of the strength of families, communities, and investigators who never give up hope. If you have any information about Emily Carter's disappearance, contact your local authorities or the FBI tip line. Thank you for watching this episode of Casefile X. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the bell so you never miss our next investigation into the cases that continue to haunt the nation.